And we are live, Dr. Art.
We're live. Independent free media at its best.
This is independent and free.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because there's a lot of things we can't say. Otherwise we run afoul of the Google gods.
We get a flag.
But here we are.
Here we are, and there's a lot of people here already.
There are a lot of people here. Wow. Okay. Well,
and we're like on time and stuff.
We got Mexican Spec in there. We got 6th Street Garage. What's happening? Mexican Spec. Kerosene Cucumbers. What's happening? Joe K. New York City mayor debate. Oh, what a toilet. There's nothing.
Two guys hollering into a toilet.
What they need to do is they need to give like 24 hours, give everybody 24 hours, and then Nagasaki that place.
Yeah.
Get
Stay
out.
If you want, but yeah.
Get out. We're leveling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 24 hours.
You can all go to Canada. It's free up
there. They don't want them here in Tennessee.
No. We get enough of the West Coast people.
I'm J. Russell Fitch. Thumper, what's happening, brother? He's astral projecting. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
Elmo, Boomer, Barracuda, the formula. That one guy, what are your thoughts on the 6.2 Boss? Picked up an F-250 with cheap taillights. That's you, Dr. Art.
I'm lost with that question.
We're both lost. So let's just pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
The formula. Did you all hear about Jimmy Taylor smashing the door record car again? 330 at 240 miles an hour.
That's retarded.
God.
That's 40 miles per hour faster than you're altered.
That's 40 miles an hour. My best run was 202 in the 8th mile. So that's 40 miles an hour faster than I went on nitro.
Yeah, in a full body car.
200-pound car.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Vilefly, what's happening? Just that is zero. Zero's in the house. We can all breathe deep.
Yeah.
Exhale. We can all exhale now. Leimenstein, what's happening?
There was Elmo's here. Did you see Elmo's here?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get over that. 240 miles an hour. Oh God, in the 8th.
And 338. That's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sub 1 second 60 foot and.
Well, sub 160. That's well for me that's kind of normal because we were single digit 60 foots.
Yeah.
But this is just a mile an hour. That's just nutty. Overnight guitarist, best carburetor for a 360 Mopar for fuel efficiency. Quadrajet.
Oh yeah.
Quadrajet, which is the factory put when Carter went out of business and they stopped making the thermal car. Chrysler was using Quadrajets. And if you hunt around, you'll be able to find a Quadrajet with actual Chrysler linkage on it. If not, it's an easy adaptation to fit it to Chrysler linkage. But you can find factory Chrysler thermal cars. That's the one to use. Also, it has a 5/16 fuel inlet instead of the GM 3/8. Fubar. Thank you.
Fubar.
He put up the link to my merch so you could buy.
To your wonderful and valuable merch.
Yeah.
It's going up in value. Check the stock market. If you have one already, it's a good investment.
These things in future generations, future civilizations will fight wars, intergalactic wars for possession of something like this.
Oh.
Boss, Zero, what's happening? Boss, got some sad news. My best friend's dogs passed away yesterday. Oh, jeez. Where I ran, it's been a rough night just staying in support of my friend's wife, whose dog it was. Rest in peace, Lucy dog. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm a dog person. I'm sorry.
There's the comment right below that. It seems this seems like a Pandora's box of stuff.
Hi, Jeff Jacobson. I haven't seen anyone building an F body. I'm considering a C5 front suspension and carbureted 6.1 Hemi.
In a Volare.
C5, I assume you're talking about a vet front suspension. Okay, so that's the front suspension part is way out of my wheelhouse, like way out of my wheelhouse. Carbureted 6.1 Hemi sounds interesting, especially if you go with if you can find they call it chip killer, which is a front mount distributor. Actually mounts a distributor kind of like an AMC did, facing like the opposite direction than normal Chrysler. But yeah, that sounds great. Why would the front suspension on those F bodies is really good. The cross-mounted torsion bars, transverse-mounted torsion bars, and very thick torsion bars at that. Those cars drive really, really well. I mean, I would say before I would consider chopping one up. I would see what you got there with the stock stuff.
But I'd like to see somebody put a carbureted Hemi in a Volare or an Aspen. That would be something.
Yes. Why wouldn't you do that, Dr. Art?
No, I just got rid of 2 Chryslers.
I mean,
I'm do something else. They've lopsided the rotation for a minute here. I gotta bring it back around.
No. You need another Mopar. Mopars are popular, man.
I know they're popular, but if I don't know. Maybe I'll get some kind of pickup or something, but not a moderately modern one.
Why don't you put a late Hemi in an XJ?
Because you're the XJ guy. I could probably take one from you. You wouldn't even notice it was gone for 6 months, and I'd swap it and bring it back.
Well, I don't have any that I want to like cut up like that, but I would supply the vehicle if you want to do it that way. I'll go pick up an XJ, and maybe we'll hit up Mopar Al and get a Hemi from him.
Yeah, because he's got many Hemi parts and things. You could probably assemble one from all the stuff that's in the back corner of the garage.
Guys, so what do you think about that? A Hemi XJ. Let's see.
With zoomies out the hood and the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes. And Fubar just put the link to my merch again. Thank you, Fubar. Rob Allen wants to know, what do you get Uncle Tony's merch? Well, you go to that link that the amazing Fubar just put up.
There you go.
And there it is.
UncleTony'sGarage.com.
Yes.
.com.
Territory. Tony, here's some content ideas. Review old Boomer tech versus Amazon throwaway tech. Oh, wait, don't forget the Boomer rocking chair. I just did that. I literally did that video like the day before yesterday.
I think he might be messing with you.
Oh, possibly. I'm easy to mess with. I really am. The Walls likes the Hemi XJ. Viofile likes the Hemi XJ, the Mud Shark. 440 XJ. Hemi XJ.
Oh, we can do a 440 XJ with just crap later on.
I got enough crap laying around to do a 440 XJ.
Yeah, and I mean, cut the fenders, put some big mud tires on the back, and just wreck things.
Well, I'll tell you what I found looking it over, right?
Okay.
So the firewall to get a big block to get a big block on a 2-wheel drive, the back of the firewall has to be there's like a doghouse that the straight 6 fits into. That have to be modified for the back of the valve covers.
Okay.
Not that big of a deal, except that it's a pain in the ass, right? The whole interior's got to come out, right? On a 4-wheel drive, right? The header collector is in the drive shaft.
Yeah, it would be a 2-wheel drive.
It would have to be 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It would have to be 2-wheel drive. Thumper thinks a 455 XJ is the way to go. You would think that. Thumper, he thinks everything in Pontiac terms. I thought they had a shot for that, but evidently no. Uh-huh.
But that would be, yeah, like a crazy 440. And I have a nice big blow through carb for that too. I could put 2 turbos up the hood instead of zoomies. Let me recover. I just got my garage clean from the mess that smog left behind.
But it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, God.
Wheelie King, isn't it big dollars to get an analog ignition module, an ignition on a modern Hemi? Yeah, it was. When I looked at it, it was expensive. It was like $700 for the.
But Wheelie King, you can use the factory ECU and just remove the fuel injection pieces and get a carburetor manifold, and it'll run it.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so actually, if you have the motor and the harness and the whole donor vehicle, it's a $0 mod besides some little programming time and some credits.
Home on Homes. Would it be possible to use an early Hemi marine engine in a car? Yes, providing that it's correct rotation, right? Because a lot of marine engines are reverse rotation. If it's and the only reason for that is because the knurling. Oh, forget the people with the knurling. The knurling for the rear main seal is backwards on a reverse rotation engine, so it will tend to leak. It'll force it to leak through the rear seal, and also the camshaft. But that's easy enough to change. I mean, yeah, marine block, marine heads, correct rotation, marine crank and cam and all of that. Yes, absolutely. You can throw it right in a car. Elmo installed my dual exhaust. The welds are atrocious. Well, that's not wrong with that.
Well, if you did it yourself, who cares? And there's no one pulling you over and say, "Hey, pull over, Elmo. Damn it, I need to inspect your welds on your exhaust." It's never going to happen.
Territory, Holly EFI versus analog carburetor. Oh, wait, these speed shuttle folks covered that. Yeah, he had all kinds of failures with that. Me, myself, I will not soil my aura by ever touching a Holly EFI setup. All right, it's that simple. Dr. Art has less regard for his spiritual well-being.
But my soul was gone.
It's gone, so he's more than happy to mess around with that aftermarket EFI stuff.
Yes. You can no longer damage my soul. It's black and crusty. So,
Wheelie King, 100% agree with Tony on modern ECU stuff. Factory stuff is fine. Aftermarket, nope, no way. Absolutely. Aftermarket electronics are doomed to failure. Aftermarket fuel injection is never quite right. Absolutely. Joe K, I'm seeing a lot of classic cars that are running EFI. That's only because they haven't been converted back to carburetor yet. That happens as soon as the owner gets stuck in a Burger King parking lot 450 miles from home. That's when they say, yeah, no more of this shit.
Yeah, because the non-replaceable sensor has failed in the bottom of your sniper.
Right.
And your only option is to send it to Bowling Green for a month and a half.
This looks like a good question. Something I'm going to have to actually think about.
Maccabees.
Yes, Maccabees. History question. My grandpa was involved in Hearst, trying to add context to his stories. When Hearst was releasing their first shifter, what was the competition like for aftermarket shifters? Okay. Oh, God. So Hearst got into the shifter thing in '63. Previous to that, what was available? I'm drawing a blank. What about you, Dr. Art? Any ideas?
What did Hearst didn't Hearst do something before shifters and they did the shifters and it really took off?
The shifters first, they did brakes afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, they bought Earhart brakes, and there's an interesting story behind that too. So when Hearst bought the brake company, he tried to lobby the NHRA to put a stop sign in the middle of the drag strip. So the idea, oh, you think I'm joking about this, right? So the idea was that they would race normally off the starting line, but then they would have to stop in the middle of the track and then continue on to the finish line. Because when you're a mogul, an industry mogul, and you buy a brake company and you've got that.
You want everybody to buy brakes, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. Well, let's make brakes the big thing. I'm trying to think of what I can't remember who was making shifters before.
It doesn't ring a bell unless it was
Hearst got into the shifter thing so hard that it obliterated the memory of anybody that came before. Brilliant marketing, man. Jake's Garage. Tony, I've watched all your videos on Bottle Rocket, but I'm confused. Is it a Whiplash cam or a comp cam in U318? I started with a flat tappet Whiplash cam in that engine, and it was good, but I couldn't get the power that I needed out of it. So it went and perfect street cam. I'm not knocking the cam. It's a great street cam, but it wasn't what I needed for that engine. So I ended up with a comp roller. Maximus Wedgie question: did the Ram charges create the cross ram? No. The Ram charges created the tunnel ram. It was on a car called the High and Mighty. It was a Seagas 49 Plymouth with an early Hemi in it. And so here's what happened, right? The factory engineers were working with the concept of sonic tuning on the intake side, right? So they hadn't released the long ram cross ram intake manifold that was used in the 1960, like the 300 letter series, and it was an option across the board. Okay, so Chrysler was working on the concept of sonic tuning on the intake with very long runners. So what the Ram charges did was because they were Chrysler engineers, is they took this basic idea and instead of having them going across, they made them go straight up. Now, Chrysler, think about it, they couldn't put a tunnel ram on a streetcar. But and the sonic pulse doesn't care whether it's going straight up or down or across like this. So the Ram charges invented, or I should say, first put into use a manifold based on sonic tuning, and then the following year in production, Chrysler put it to use in that cross ram setup. So technically, the Ram charges didn't really invent anything, but they were the first to put a practical long ram intake manifold into service. Did that answer that question right?
It did, and Jamie made a real good video on cross rams for his 57 Chrysler that he's building.
Okay.
Explain the difference between the long runner, short runner, the whole thing, yeah, and why it's called that, and so it was interesting. A lot of stuff I didn't even know, but it's not saying much. But
how's that possible? Eric S. liked the timing light video. Jeff Quick. Okay, I'm just getting into this stuff. What made Hearst so good? It wasn't so much that Hearst was that good. It was that the stuff that was out there was that bad. The original Hearst shifters were okay. They went through an evolution, and it wasn't until about 67 or 68 with the Competition Plus where they really nailed it, right? But the factory shifters that they were using up to that point were terrible. Like they were good to. So I was like, remember the 3 on the tree, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
People converting those, yeah.
Yeah, well, the 4-speed, the floor shifters that were in use at the time were like about that same thing. We had this big detent, and so.
Yeah.
it just wasn't a good situation. The Hurst shifter was intended to be speed shifting, and so it just made the huge difference in the car's drivability.
318 Dart. He's okay.
What's up, fellas?
He's in the garage with his Dart and the live stream. So
nice. Well, say hello to your Dart for me, man.
Yeah, let's give your Dart a nice rub on the head. Yeah.
Wheeler King, speaking of cams, what do you think of the old Mopar Performance? I like to call it direct connection, man. It's the old direct connection 509. 383 on the street. It's a good cam, man. 332s, 727 1800 a stall converter, too big. Okay, yeah, no. The 509 is going to need some legs. 355 minimum. 391 is going to be about 391 410 is the gear that thing wants. And 1800 RPM converter? No. 3500. 3500 RPM converter is where you want to go with that. So
yeah, because that's a bigger cam. Yeah, it's got some hair on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a choppy good cam. It's an excellent, it's like a 4,000 RPM cam, which is really nice. But yeah, definitely needs more gear and more converter. Maximus Wedgie. Sorry, back to cross rams. Boy, I apologize. If someone has a 400 HP 440, a 400 horsepower 440, and a single barrel normal intake, single 4-barrel normal intake, are there any legitimate performance increases to adding the cross ram? Torque. You're going to make that same 400 horsepower. That's not going to change. But if you have to have driven one of those things to really appreciate how they feel. 2,500 to like 5,000 RPM, right? The torque is just amazing. Like you can really feel it. It's not something. But here's the thing: those manifolds aren't designed for higher RPM performance. They were designed to. Okay, they were designed so that if you took your 5,000-pound Chrysler 300 and you're cruising along the highway at like 50 miles an hour and you want to pass somebody, you kind of just look at the gas pedal and it jumps into action and just sucks you out and around whatever's around you. That's what that's what the long rim was intended for. They don't make any power in where we would consider to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Stick with your single 4-barrel. If it's conventional power that you're looking for, stick with the single 4-barrel. If it's a highway cruiser type of car and you don't really care about the gas mileage penalty of 2 AFBs,
and linkage and hoses and balance tubes and everything else, go for it.
Willie King's got it. Sounds a little rowdy. Looking to keep the wife friendly. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a radical cam, but it's not a soft, easy driving cam. You maybe install like 4 degrees up and try it. And it's a lot of work to just experiment with something like that. But yeah, just the data. Thank you for the super chat.
Nice.
Yes. Kathy just spent that on treats for the dogs. Literally. I'd like to change my HI distributor to points. Okay. I have a 66 Pontiac Le Mans with a 400, and I've been told an OEM points distributor has a bronze gear, which may wear if the cam is hardened steel. What would you suggest? Now, the OEM. Well, okay. Let's just to double check. Let's throw Thumper in there. Thumper, is there anything unique about the distributor drive gear on a Pontiac of that era?
Unless he retrofitted a roller cam in it, it's not going to have that iron gear. Yeah.
Just without it. Pontiacs have iron gears, no roller cams on them, unless you put them in. But Performance installs a melanized gear for roller cams. Yes. So let's go back to that. Thank you, Thumper.
And just a
Okay. And I mean, the HEI, there's nothing wrong with the HEI distributor. It's just drop in. If you want to just swap from the HEI to points, it's just literally a drop in thing. You've got to run a resistor wire with the points where you wouldn't have to, or you have to run a ballast resistor with the points that you wouldn't be using with the HEI. But I don't know how your car is wired.
Well, if you go down a little bit, he said this thing does have a roller cam in it.
Okay, yeah, he's got a roller cam. We're on 20-inch manifold vacuum. Well, that's a really mild cam.
Yeah.
I don't know much else about the camshaft. That sounds like just. I mean, that's like an RV cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Thumper says, if it's a roller, you need either. Well, you know, bronze gears suck on the street. I'll tell you that right now. You'll get like 5,000 miles out of them if you're lucky. And then they
keep two in the glove box. Yeah.
So yeah, Butler has the melanized gear that you can use with that. That camshaft. Yes, bronze gears wear out fast and dump shavings in the oil pan.
Yep. What was the point of bronze gears? I never understood that. Everyone who ever tried it, they always shit the bed. And
it's a matter of dissimilar materials. Like you have to run dissimilar materials.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the metal that the roller is ground on, right, is incompatible with a regular steel gear. It's steel on steel. So you need to have a dissimilar metal to live.
And you got Jake's Garage with a super chat.
Thank you, Jake's Garage.
Get your food.
Okay, would you share a cast X on Botto? He's trying to bribe me with $5. I would be lying if I remember the exact spec on that thing, because this is like 4 years ago. I built that engine. It's in the 560 lift range. It's on a 110, and I forget exactly what the duration was. But I'll tell you what, right? Get a hold of who ground that for me. Get a hold of Shane Polito.
Over at Comp?
At Comp, right. Get a hold of Shane Polito and just tell him I sent you, and he can grind you the duplicate to that. But remember, it's intended for nitrous. It's a nitrous cam. Let's see. Have you done a video on lean burn? There's no reason to. It's just junk.
Besides throwing the parts in the garbage.
It's just
changing
junk.
the distributor in the carburetor. Yeah.
You
know, but if someone has an intact lean burn Chrysler that they want converted live on TV that are willing to shoot the parts, we might consider that.
What? Say that again now?
If someone has an intact lean burn, say their Cordoba is on that lean burn 400, and they want to convert it and they're willing to buy the distributor and the carburetor, make an interesting video. Then we could take a shotgun to the lean burn parts, and, you know.
I mean, we could look for one, but I think there's such limited interest in that. Honestly, there's like 12 guys left in the world that have like a lean burn setup. You know what I'm saying? It's not the kind of thing you really want to get involved with.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Let's see. Mo Parquet don't play is in the house. What's happening, Mo Parquet?
Hey, what's going on?
Joe K, what would you throw in a 400, a battery charger or a lean burn box? I tossed the lean burns right into the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just make a mess on the floor. They're already a mess. Yeah.
Oscar Walton, any plans on dusting off Bottle Rocket? It looks a little sad in the corner with the hood up. I know. Bottle Rocket and Sledgehammer are both sitting there and they're like, play with me. And we will. This year was really rough. I mean, it was super rough. Kathy was down for several months, most of the year. And there was no going to the track. There was no doing anything. I had to stay here, take care of the dogs, and just keep life going around the house. So I really got sidetracked. All the things that we had planned on doing this year never materialized. But next year, it's sitting there. It's literally just sitting there waiting to run. And the next thing I had intended to do with it, besides racing Dr. Art, because he and I still have a race we got to do, his Ranger.
Yeah.
Rocket. And then after I dust him, I was going to work on 60 foot. Get the car over to
pixie dust. Is that what?
Yeah, no. I mean, like the thing.
You can come over and dust the Ranger. It's a little dirty. That's it. You can do that. Yeah.
So yeah, we got to work on 60s with that. Is Improbable becoming a reality to run this weekend? Possibly Friday night. I'm thinking about taking it to Etheridge on Friday night.
Because this is like the last weekend of the year, really. It's the last weekend for Buffalo Valley, isn't it? Ever?
Yeah, but Buffalo Valley, one of our home tracks, is closing for good this Saturday night. That's the last. That track's been around since 1965, so that's over. So, but
the same crabby guy running it, yeah.
Yeah, but I won't be taking Mission Improbable there. It's Mission Improbable and that track are not compatible. The last time I ran that car, well, first off, Buffalo Valley is 0.2 of a second slower than any level track because it's uphill. And the last time I did, the video's still up. The last time I took Mission Improbable to Buffalo Valley, it literally spun the tires the entire eighth. Right, it just barely caught traction at the top of first. I power shifted second, cars all the way through second. It was crazy. So I won't be ringing it there.
It went by pretty fast, but Mr. Jeff is in the chat. So
now tomorrow night, Dr. Art and I might be spending some time over at the Speed Lab with the Belvedere, because Belvedere has been up and running and together, but I haven't done anything with it. But now we've got the Belvedere is over there, and we got some time. So tomorrow night we may put some laps on the Belvedere and then see what we have to do with it from that point. All right.
It may or may not involve drill bits. So
let's see. Jeff's the long lost Jeff.
Yeah.
I just got in watching in the hotel room after meetings. Okay, well, come home. We need you.
There's lots to do.
We need you. American Trucker, good evening, everyone. Been super busy with new job. Congratulations. Ain't made live in a couple of weeks. You can watch the replays.
Yeah. There's no law against that. And as you're sitting at the truck stop, taking a nap or whatever, put it on the YouTube and let it roll. Put you right to sleep.
Mo Parquet is dealing with her first ever transmission leak diagnosis and repair. It's the tower bushing. All right.
Or if it's a 904, it's if it's a 727, yeah.
Don't even bother diagnosing it. I'm telling you what it is, right? It's where the linkage goes in on the top of the transmission. There's a seal that goes in there, and it's leaking from that.
It's just gushing right out, percolating out. Yeah.
Yep. How do I know that? Because all of my cars leak from there. because I'm too lazy to pull the freaking thing out. So yes.
Yeah, drop the pan, pull the thing. Yeah,
Right.
bushing. Yeah.
Joe K got a plan big live sometime with Cold War Art and Jamie. Yes, we will do that this month. Coming, not this month. I'm sorry, November. Sometime in November. I try to do one with Scott like once a month. So the next time we get together, we'll get Jamie in there and Art will come in too.
We need the engine builder guy also.
Engine builder guy. Oh yeah.
His name, sorry. We know who he is.
Daniel Solis. The video you made of the seal I watched. Okay. Let's see. Joe Case is saying, what was that now? Oh, Mexican Spec is saying that would be wonderful, but the two old school guys will talk amongst themselves. That's not true. That's
no. We've done multi-channels before, and it's a nice round robin. And
Thunder Falcon 289. Hello, Tony. My friend Luke is thinking about making his own lifters and cams for the big three with special lobes that work like a ghost pepper surprise everyone in the streets. Yeah. He should do that. He should definitely do that.
Yeah, if he could grind the popular grinds and then with actually parts that last, he could be a millionaire. Millions. And it's only, maybe 10 machines he would need to do all that stuff.
Wheelie King, the end of my left thumb has been numb for 20 years. Thumper. Got it with a sledge on one of those hammer crimpers. Imagine that. Still love the sledge, though. So this right here, I don't know if you can see that. That's the weirdest, most painful injury I've ever had. I have, listen to me, right? I've ripped, burned, and shredded every part of my body at one time or another. This little freaking thing for a week has been, I wedged it between, I was moving an engine block, and the block got caught between, it fell backwards and caught just the very tip of my finger, the nail between the block and the hand truck. And it dug the nail into like deeply into the tip of my finger. And it's the craziest, most painful, long-lasting thing. It's crazy. Mexican Spec, when you and Scott get out, Tony, you don't let us in the conversation. I know, bro. I'm so sorry about that.
Cole Rosas, a couple down from there. See what he's got going on.
Wait a minute. Thumper is 45. I don't want to know how you ripped, shredded, or burned that one part, but the mechanics of it are intriguing. I was welding on a Chevy truck frame. I was gas welding on a Chevy truck frame. Okay. This was 40 years ago, 35 years ago, and thereabouts. And the way it was positioned and the way I was positioned, I was crouched, okay, like leaned back against something to get the right angle, and I had my legs up like this, okay, and I'm welding, and a bit of it, right? You know how gas welding pops. So it was a big pool, and when it popped, there was a nice size, like a BB size bit of molten that burned immediately through my pants. Do I have to say anything else? I had to actually remove it with a tweezer. It buried itself deep in there, and that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. But yes, I've injured that too. And every single guy in the place is like,
Yeah.
right. And Mopar K is like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, belly button slag. Yep. I've done belly button slag too. My favorite is the ear slag because not only can you hear the wax sizzling in your ear like it's a megaphone, okay, but then you could smell it too. And
Yeah.
that's always special.
And you can
It's always
smell it
that
through your
thing.
head. Yeah.
Yeah. You go, and then the smell comes. Jeff, he loved the doggy drags. I always knew such a thing existed. Dude, you're the only one who watched it.
The one guy. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. You were the view. That was my worst performing video in like 8 years. Let's see. The Lost French Garage. I have a 71 Triumph TR6 that I am thinking of transplanting a different motor into. Want to be different and don't say LS swap. Go.
The Honda 2.4 liter K series engine with a turbo.
Yeah.
Because those things they're bulletproof and they can make all kinds of power, and then the little Triumph will just scream along and it'll fit. So there you go.
That's a very good suggestion. And then Torino Elite just said here 215. Okay. So yes. So my two choices for that, like I said, Dr. I'd probably get the most practical, best suggestion. But being old school, like I am, either a 215 Buick, the aluminum Buick, or a 302 Ford. And it'll sit right, it should sit right in there. In fact, I think I've seen that swap.
Oh, a little 302 in it would be cool too, yeah.
Let's see.
Your dog is playing inside-outside game.
Let me take care of. Who is it? Which one? Molly Jane, you want to go out? It was her.
Yeah, it was Molly. Yeah, it was Molly.
Good girl. Oh God. She wanted to go out. It's behind me. Now it's just me and Darla. Hey, Darla.
And Darla's not going to go nowhere. So.
No. Connor Lake. Tony, one of your vids several years ago, you said something to the effect of B-body spacing on your axle bearings so you can use B-body brakes. Does that mean 11-inch brakes? No. Okay. You must be referring to a body 8 3/4. B-body spacing on your axle bearings so you can use B-body brakes. No. So on an A-body rear, the drum brake, okay, they use a shallow backing plate. So you're stuck using the A-body drum. But you can switch to a B-body backing plate. And that would give you either an option of 10 or 11-inch drums. Carl Russos, how much is a Holly Demon carb worth? Much less than you're going to pay for it.
He says he's got a spare. He just keep the spare. You could never have enough carburetors waiting for you on the side.
Yeah, I would hold on to it.
Because you'll sell it, and then in 6 months you'll drag home some other project with a shitty carburetor on it and want to kill yourself.
Or you'll have issues with the one that's on the car, and you'll be able to set the one that you've got up and just make a quick, easy swap.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Boomer says, back in the 80s, I had a manager that transplanted a Toyota straight 6-cylinder into his Triumph. Did you see the slant 6 Miata I built?
Field's Garage, they can't spell, but they're here.
I see that. I have a 65 Fury 2, and I need a windshield wiper motor. I'm told 65 is 1 year only for the wiper motor. That's very possible. Is this true? Will it fit my car? I can't tell you specifically. I don't know. So there's a lot of 1965 parts that are unique, 1965 only, and I would not be surprised. But on the other hand, I can't think of any mounting flange that's different. Like the 3 studs, all of those cars from the era had the same mounting flange. So while the motor might not be direct interchange, the wiring harness might be different, the linkage might be different. I don't know. You can probably bolt a more conventional or easier to find one and then fabricate around it. Let's see.
Go down to American Trucker there.
American Trucker. Got the F-350 running and driving. All the brake parts are new. It has drums on the rear. I bled them rear, the valve, middle, and 3 times and still spongy. Any advice? Am I missing something? Bleed the master.
And make sure those rear brakes are adjusted actually
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Because if they're too loose, all your pedal action goes to moving them to touch nothing.
Yes. Wheelie King about, okay, this is in reference to the wiper motor. Might Jamie know that info? Yes. Jamie would be the guy.
He probably has one.
Probably. But yeah, the brake adjustment, and the and air trapped in the master will give you that. Praise for the Rover V8.
Well, that's Territory's jam, so
yeah.
He would know.
That's the aluminum 215 that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
That engine's got some history, man. Some history. Let's see. Let me roll back up here. Craftsman timing light from the mid-90s. Man, there were so many comments on that video. People talking about their 70s, 80s, the Craftsman timing lights, family heirlooms, held back, handed down.
Yeah. You drag out the big Craftsman timing light. It still works better than anything you buy new.
Like somebody could start a Craftsman timing light society, and they would sell a bunch of merch. Yeah. I had no idea that it was going to be so popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's actually. Wait, well. Yes, Strawberry Misfits, exactly. I should have said that too. Tom at Rocket Restoration might have a wiper motor too, especially now that he has NOS parts business. And he would be the guy. He'll give you the part number. He'll give you all of the exact differences. And yeah.
Or he'd be like, no, use this one and do this to it and
Those guys are really, really sharp, man. Those guys out there are really sharp. Krista, the puppy wants out. That's no puppy. She's like 16 years old. Yeah, Darla. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's a lot of movement for that dog, actually. So I can't do the highlights, but Wargos, hey, Tony, what's the cheapest refurbished big block Mopar head on the market? Don't have access to a decent machine shop in Northeast Ohio.
What's that?
Warghost, he's asking if you know cheapest refurbished big block Mopar head on the market.
I don't deal with any aftermarket stuff, man. I honestly don't.
No, he's looking for a cheap refurb factory piece.
Oh. Don't have access to a decent machine shop in Northeast Ohio. Does it need to be machined? I mean, take it apart. Take it apart first and check. Look at the seats. Look at the guides. You may not have to refurbish it at all, except for just
if it doesn't need seats, just clean it up.
Mexican Spec, yes. Dr. Art needs your subs.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know, his channel got nuked through no fault of his own. He got hijacked and nuked. And so he went from 10,000 subs to 0. And he's slowly building it back up again.
6. Oh, well, okay, it's not going to work. 618 at the moment. And like 1,000 watch hours already. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's like climbing along nicely.
Yes. So go over there and
watch something. Watch all of them. Put them on play and go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Get them the watch hours. Mexican Spec says at least you can race at the No Name Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take the Belvedere to the No Names next year?
I mean, I was there the first year. I was the first car down the track for the first year at the No Name National. So I've been there. I got especially, and I have the T-shirt. I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. There's got to be a next until they really change that event. I did it. Those guys did a good job. But yeah, I did it. Check. Next.
Chris, dude, I say puppy. Yeah, I realize that. But I mean, I do have a puppy, so it's like it's. So as soon as somebody says puppy, I automatically think the puppy.
Mm-hmm. Our friend John subscribed to my channel. Thanks, John.
Let's see. I'm just rolling back up here.
Mm-hmm.
Territory, what will be your next Boomer Tool review? These reviews will take over your EV videos. I haven't done any EV videos because it's like
EV's dead.
Yeah, it's over. So it's like you know what I mean? It's like we won.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Cooler heads prevailed, and all the EVs are now just gathering dust, and nobody wants them just like before. So just let them do their natural thing. Don't force it down our throat.
Let's see. Dakota, what's happening, bro? I had that cross-ram Hemi run. What cross-ram Hemi? Did I miss a cross-ram Hemi?
Did we put together a cross-ram Hemi and forget about it?
I might have. Big Wilbur. Yeah, I miss him. And Big Wilbur was great to have around. That's John Wilburn, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Really good guy.
Yeah, why doesn't he stop by anymore?
He's just doing his thing.
Or is he just lurking and not coming on? Dakota said the cross-rep Hemi on the cover photo of this video. So whatever thumbnail you put up, I didn't see it.
I didn't. I don't do any of this stuff. Kathy does it all.
Yeah, that's.
I,
Oh, Kathy built the cross ram Hemi. That's.
no. I mean, well, I mean, I don't know. It might be. Well, no, she's never built a cross ram Hemi. Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, that was in my '68 Roadrunner. That was. Oh God, that was 1983, 1984. How did that work out? That manifold. So I built that engine. That was a magazine project engine called Hemi on a Shoestring, and I built it out of all broken and hand-me-down race car parts that I bought from local racers. So I had the block welded, heads welded, all kinds of shit, and I only had like maybe $1,000 in that whole engine. And that intake was a super rare rat roaster cross ram, which it was the only one that I'd ever actually seen. And I picked it up at a swap meet. I paid like nothing for it because nobody wanted it. This is, you got to go back to the day. So about the time that picture was taken, probably the same day, right? I was screwing around with the car in the driveway, getting ready because I hadn't got it to run right yet. It was running, but not right. And I went in the house. When I went in the house, I left the fuel pump on. So I came back out like maybe 20 minutes later, and one of the carburetors was dumping fuel. I was unaware of this. So I turned the key, motor went whap, whap, boom! And it blew the top of the intake manifold like this. So here's the carburetors like this, and they were both facing up like this. And that was the end of that intake manifold. So then I put a stock intake manifold on it, and maybe used the car a couple of times. And then I bought a dragster and pulled that motor out and stuck Hillborn fuel injectors on it and used it in the dragster for a while. So that's the story of the cross ram Hemi on the cover of this, with a thumbnail of this.
The rare and a loose manifold that was just in pieces now. Yeah.
Blew it in half. Actually, I think there's pictures of that manifold on my kitchen table, blown in half.
Dakota. So the answer is not well. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, King, I can't even assimilate to electric impact. Still use almost exclusively air tools. I don't have any. I have my compressor here at the house. I have my air tools here at the house, and I don't use them. I have an electric impact I use for like everything. I don't have any battery tools.
Yeah.
I'm still corded. You know what I mean? But yeah.
No, go electric. It's such an easy life changer thing instead of that damn compressor noise and running and dragging the hose and getting it stuck on everything and
running out of air and having to sit there while it fills back up again.
You get an extra battery and you just go all day. Yeah.
Dakota's saying, dang, that's such a bummer. A lot of people don't run them. They're like almost mystery. My brother's 399 Pontiac with a Mickey Thompson cross ram is pretty good. He almost daily drives it. There's nothing wrong with a cross ram. It's just most of them are hogged out, modified for racing. But that particular one, and I could see like why it wouldn't be very popular, was the top of it where it blew in half. Where it blew in half, it was like paper thin. It was just a very thin cast. Like if you look at like a factory, like a Chrysler cross ram, they're thick. There's a lot of beef there, right? But that rat roaster cross ram that I had, the top was just thin cast aluminum. So it's like a normal backfire. Well, what I had was more than a normal backfire, but I think even a normal backfire would have fractured it at least. Where like on a factory cross ram, you could backfire that thing all day long and it's fine. I got that 1200 running today.
Oh, is it running?
Yeah, it's good for a ride.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is.
It's the leanest bike I've ever. It's angry lean. If you thought the Belvedere was angry lean, this thing is like super angry lean.
Is that because it's straight piped or what?
Straight pipe and with a velocity stack.
Oh, so it just
Yeah, so it's just woof. But even lean like it is, it runs really strong. Like surprisingly strong. So I gotta jet it up. Let's see. Hot Shoe has only seen inline rat roasters. Yeah, I'm telling you, the one that I had was yours. Go look at the thumbnail picture. It's a very unusual manifold. Let's see. I have. What do we have going on over here? Molly Jane, do you want to go out? Say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. I am Daddy. Yes.
Molly.
I love you. Come on, let's go. Granddad's Junkies wanting a 3D tournament for a 3D3. Anyone got one I would let go? It's a nice match for the 3D3, I got to tell you.
Does seem to make it happy, but he's over in New Zealand, so it's probably tough to get one there.
Harley Skirtster, yes, because I'm a closet, what do you call it? The transfusual. So
cross-dresser.
It happens to be.
You're a tranny.
Yes. I'm not man enough for a big twin. Mopar Man. I'm building a true low-budget 3031 rat rod roadster with a 225/6 that often has a dual two-barrel intake manifold and a long hooker headers. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, did you paint that engine bay black? The whole car was black. Lost French are saying they're made for trans and short people. I'm only 5'10", man. I'm a Sportster guy. I have 3 of them here at the house. I have the one there at the shop. I've got one at the storage that we're going to turn into a project for the channel, and I've got one sitting over at a buddy of mine's place that I think we're going to do like an off-road bike, a dirt bike out of. But I want to do a true Sportster dirt bike because now they come in 2 varieties. There's 100 Sportster dirt bike builds on YouTube, and none of them are right. Either they actually turn it into a dirt bike. So in other words, like they'll take a Sportster cradle and mount it into a dirt bike. So you lose that whole Sportster thing. It's a Sportster in name only. Or they just put a set of longer springs in the back and a set of dirt bike handlebars, and they send it, and knobbies, and they send it. And that's no good either. And I'll tell you. Well, I'm going to give away the premise of the build, but the problem with a Sportster dirt bike, based on an actual Sportster frame, is that the seat is too low in relation to the pegs, and you can't control the damn thing. Riding a dirt bike, if you do any type of off-road, riding a dirt bike is all done in between your legs. So it's all done like in your thighs and your ass cheeks. And so you want to be able to stand up. You can't. You got to have your knees mostly straight. A little bit bend in there for suspension, but mostly straight. And when you do that, you can't steer the bike with your crotch. You can't employ any body English into the thing. So you end up with a bike that it's just no good to ride. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a Sportster dirt bike with a Sportster frame that'll look like a freaking Sportster, but I get the seat up about 5 inches in relation to the pegs. That's the calculation that I made, at least to fit me. So if I get the seat up about 5 inches and probably raise the tank maybe 3 inches to keep it in proportion, it'll look like a Sportster, it'll ride like a Sportster, it'll be a Sportster, but you'll be able to actually ride the freaking thing off-road. Russ Peter Derelicts, Tony, classic dirt bike preference, Hodaka, Bultaco, or Husqvarna. Well, I've had a thing, I've wanted a 400 cross ever since the first time I saw it on any Sunday. But I'm not going to bother. No, yes, definitely Husqvarna. Wheelie King, absolutely correct. You steer a dirt bike with your feet and ankles. So you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I watch these guys build sports to dirt bikes and adventure bikes and shit like that.
And then they're crunched up on them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, how the hell do you ride this thing? Like, yeah, if you're gonna just crawl through the woods, I guess it's okay, right? But if you actually want to run hard with it, you have to have your crotch has to be in contact with the friggin' bike. So your knees got to be up, your ankles got to be basically straight, and your upper body has to be in relation to the bars. So how do you build a low seat Sportster frame and expect it to do dirt bike things? Mark, yes, it'll be a much shorter trip over the handlebars. I once broke both of my thumbs simultaneously going over the bars on a Honda. I had some railroad tracks just in the wrong way, and it launched me. And when it did, both of my freaking thumbs got. Joe K, Tony, how are the 4 cylinders in the XJ8 versus the 6? I've never driven one. I don't know.
But you can't kill them.
The 4-cylinder that's in those is basic. It's the 4-liter with 2 pistons missing. It's the same engine. It's the same everything. Barracuda had a 78 YZ250. Yes. See, I'm just going to scroll back up here. Lost French had a Mako 470 that tried to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Wheelie King is saying, I know exactly what you're talking about. Look at my avatar. Been dirt running for 45 years. And if you stop and you think about it, man, the Sportster, even stripped down, is so freaking heavy. You know, you can't get any lighter than like 425, 450 pounds, no matter what you do to it. So it's like, how critical does that upper body control count now when you've got, you know what I'm saying? Thunder Falcon, what will stop the rear end hopper bounce on my Falcon? Do I need to add weight, traction bars, stiffer leaf springs, or Cal tracks to keep the rear tires on the ground? It weighs 2,743 pounds. You need a good drag shock. See, the problem with the Falcon is you've got a symmetrical leaf spring. So it means there's a very long front segment, and that long front segment wants to make an S. Slapper bars are a good... slapper bars are a cheap, effective, easy to tune option to the Caltrax. If you do a combination of good shocks and slapper bars, traction bars, you're not going to need stiffer springs. Probably won't need stiffer springs. The spring is really only there at that point to keep the gravity from sucking the car into the earth. So shocks and slappers. And learn how to tune the slappers.
Or you can go on those vintage Fords that Torque Master arms that they still sell in California.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, the underride bars, they're beautiful for that. You'll be able to hook in mud.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, I can't count how many sets of those I've put on Mustangs and Falcons and things
Yeah.
like that. And they
Yeah.
work. Yeah, they're easy. You weld them up yourself, boom, and you're done, and that's all you need.
The only downside to that, I would say, is that there's no tunability to them.
No, there's not. You'd have to. You could take that same concept and thread a bar and put a Heim on one end and stuff like that. Like the way they come. No, they're not tunable, but unless you're, the car's rear steering real hard, you should be okay.
I'm just rolling back through here.
Yeah.
Honda Elsinore always smelled weird when they were running. Those guys always use weird exotic two-stroke oil. They had scented back in the day when two-strokes were all over the place. They used to have scented two-stroke oil. They had like strawberry and like.
Like they do for the alcohol cars. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it for the alcohol cars too. Because alcohol cars need something to make them special. Hot Shoe says, I saw On Any Sunday at the theater. Man, I have seen that movie so many times. Like for a couple of years, every night I fell asleep to it. Like that was it. End of the night, everybody goes away, and I would slip the into the VCR, click it, and then fall asleep every night to On Any Sunday. Barracuda, a friend had a TS400. I had a TT500. The Suzuki you're talking about, right? The Titan 500?
There could have been something else over there.
I'm still rolling back.
Oh, okay. While we're doing that, I'm going to see how many likes we got because
we don't have enough likes.
No,
we never do. We never do.
Oh, I know. I don't know why I torture myself with this, but let me look.
Let's see.
There's 160 people watching and only 105 likes.
Oh, God. There goes my ego. And you know how fragile my ego is, man.
Right. So 55 people have no excuse.
All right.
And some lovely ads played. So.
No, TS400 street trail bike. Yeah, but the TT500. Scoop, what's happening, Scoop?
Scoop.
How are you? I noticed Ben hasn't been doing his morning show lately. I've been watching because I need live while I'm having my coffee in the morning. I need some live stuff going on. So I've been watching a guy that goes by the name of International Stacker. Well, you laugh, but
No, I never heard of it. It just sounds, just the name is good.
Yeah, International Stacker. So, gold and silver guy.
Yeah.
For those who aren't familiar. Oh, Ben's show is at 10:30 now? Oh, okay. Well, tell him to get back on early, man, because I need company for my coffee. 72Z28 only clicks like after Tony posts my comments.
Well, there you go. Now you're Roped in,
life.
brother. Yeah.
There you go, 126 now.
Yeah.
So I told him you watch, and he said to tell you thanks. He's a good guy. He seems like a really good guy. Crash's Roadrunner Garage has the right spirit. He hits the like button as soon as he starts watching.
If everyone was like Crash,
the world would be a much better place.
yes, we could all sing songs and, it'd be lovely together.
Eric asks, can you run 85 daily driver with a carb? Oh, probably, but man, the gas mileage would be dismal.
Yeah, you're going to get 30% less gas mileage, and you get all special fuel lines and fuel parts in the carburetor and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would hate it, man. I would.
And you can't, like, if you run out of E85 and you're somewhere and you can't put gas in it because it'll just flood. And
But we do have an expert on this in the house. Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things you should know about it. I might make a video at 85 here soon. I should. Yes, you should.
Yes, you should. Yes,
and
you should.
And we will promote it because a lot of people ask E85 questions, and I can't really give them any good answers. I'm not an alcohol guy, right? I don't like alcohol. It's that simple. It's like I'm a nitro guy. I'm a pump gas guy. I do not like race gas. I do not like E85. I do not like alcohol. These are things that I do not want to deal with. Nitromethane or regular pump gas, and there is nothing else. Just either end of the spectrum. All of that middle ground, I don't want to deal with. I just don't want to deal with.
I had a thought about something. We were talking about this earlier. I'm wondering if we could, from Gary, get the tree from Buffalo Valley as a keepsake.
If we could what?
Get the tree from Buffalo Valley.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people. That's going to be a family heirloom.
You think? You think he's just not like, F it, sell it,
I don't
sell everything? So. No?
I don't think so.
It'd be cool. It'd be a cool piece to put in a corner and go, yeah, that's from, da, 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 da.
I mean, you could ask him. I got him on my friend's. I got his number if you want to ask him.
It's just a thought. I don't need to have it. I got no place for it anyway. So where am I going to put it in my garage? It's full of garbage.
In my living room. Put it right.
There's no room there either. I got extra people and extra dogs now. So.
Ron Ward is in the house. What's happening, Ron?
Hi, Ron.
Dakota's timeout is saying exactly my thoughts on this, right? I'd like to run 85, but there's only one gas station in town that sometimes has it. And that, in a nutshell, is why I will not even consider anything 85. Because it's not consistent. It's not around everywhere. Yeah, it's like a special consideration. So if you're going to have to go through those special considerations, you burn nitro. Burn nitro.
Might as well. Mexican Beck says I have a Barracuda-shaped hole in my garage. No, I no longer have that Barracuda-shaped hole in my garage.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Barracuda has a red Elsinore in his living room. Nice. Is one of the early like aluminum tank ones?
Yeah, Mexican Beck, no, that car's not there, so you have lots of space. No, that car's not there, so I could put the Ranger back in my garage and get the Falcon out of the back garage and finish that and all that kind of stuff. Finish up the gun cabinet in the garage. Could have a lot of parts for sale here pretty soon. So
Yeah, alcohol 85 is good if you have stupid high compression and you're running boost, but it requires alcohol-resistant fuel lines and tank and carb. Not worth it for a daily.
Right.
And then Dakota is saying, what are you going to do if they ain't got it and you need to get home? Yes. Guess you got to pitch a tent and hope the homeless drug addicts don't shank you and rob you at 3 a.m. Yeah, that's the eventuality. I feel that if I was to run 85, I would end up stranded someplace and I would get shanked by a homeless drug addict.
Right. On your way to the Kroger to buy things of rubbing alcohol to try
Right.
Yeah.
Lois French, how about an aerial square 4? Never rode one, but I think they're cool. Yeah, I think they're cool too. And no, I've never run one either.
I don't even know what one is.
It's a motorcycle that has it's a 4-cylinder bike, but it's two-cylinder engines and a common crankcase.
Okay.
2 cylinders and 2 cylinders, and the cranks are linked in the crankcase.
It's two cranks, but they're like geared together.
Yeah, picture two-cylinder engines, but then you meet them together in the same block.
Okay.
Tony is Ross Peter Jolix. Tony is waiting for the 85 delivery. Wake up to Dirty Mike the hobo spooning with him. I know, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Nobody wants to spoon with Dirty Mike. Yeah.
Right, and when you tell Dirty Mike, hey man, I don't want to spoon with you, you'll get shanked. This is what happens. Okay, you younger guys, this is a lesson for you all. Scoop is saying, is the sprocket in the center? No. I mean, I'm not an expert on these things. I'm only barely acquainted with them. No, it's a unit construction. The transmission is attached to it, and if I remember correctly, the two crankshafts are geared together, and then the back crankshaft is sprocketed with a primary chain to the transmission. But I could be wrong. Just look up pictures of aerial square 4s.
Ron's got a question for you.
Oh my God. Hey guys, what's your thoughts on running synthetic gear oil in a 60 to 80 vintage Sure Grip Positrack track lock type rear end? I've never done it.
I've done it as long as you put the friction modifier in there.
Friction modifier, right?
Yeah. And a lot of the synthetic stuff has that modifier already in it.
Which is fish oil. Isn't that fish oil?
Yeah. It smells like whale blubber or whatever. Yeah. It's some kind of.
I think it's made from scales.
Some crazy,
oil that's extracted from scales, I believe. I could be wrong. Or like he's saying, it could be whale oil. But yeah, it originates in a fish.
Jamie's here.
Garage. Jamie is in the house. What's happening, brother, man?
Building a big block again.
The best Mopar channel in all of YouTube. So go over there, you Mopar guys, go over there and sub and like and share and buy his merch and follow his rhetoric and propaganda and all that.
He was full of rhetoric today. He's like, I'm doing it this way. If you don't like it, bye.
He's getting uppity. He's become a YouTube hotshot. He gets more views than I do now.
He's what?
This punk gets more views than I do.
Yeah.
He should be promoting my damn channel.
He should. That's why he comes here, I think. He's just like, I spread pity upon you with my presence.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Or I am Jamie, King of Dead Dodge. Yes.
Nice to have a big shot Mopar channel come in the. I have a Friday, Dr. Art. I have a pristine 65 Nova straight six power glide. We're gonna do a video on.
Ooh.
Just a walk around to show like what a forever car really is.
That's probably just a nice, sweet, just cruise along at 45 mile per hour car. Yeah. Is this some person you just ran into randomly, or you know this person?
It's a fella. His name is Chad, and he runs a shop 6 doors down from the Speed Lab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've actually got him doing. I got him swapping engines on one of my XJs. I don't have the time, so I got him doing an engine swap for me.
Oh, okay. On the brown one or whatever it was.
The one that I used to drive all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Let's see. James, I mention you all the time. I've said on video, if Uncle Tony said jump off the bridge, I'd ask which bridge and when at least once. Really? Did you really? No, you didn't really say that, did you? And I make fun of you all the time with the timing line. Badass Monte Carlo, 1971. Why do you guys love unibody cars so much? Because they're superior in every way, shape, and form. The unibody car is well, first off, the unibody still has a frame. Okay, there's still a frame. The frame is actually integrated through the entire car. The roof is the frame. The bottom of the rocker is a frame. It's all frame. And it always stays intact. It's just superior. It's simpler. It's better. It's stiffer. Mopar Garage. Was there a company a while back that made Hemi heads for the 383 and the 440? I thought I saw that at Mag a while back. Yes, Stage 5 Engineering did a Hemi conversion head in the 1980s. And what they did was they took their fuel head, right, nitro head, right, at the time, they were still running cast heads, it was before billet heads, and they made a couple of changes to it. So on the head itself, they modified the water jacket to meet to or to match up with the one on the wedge block. Small revision. Okay. On the intake port, they put a hole in the intake port at the bottom floor of the port for the upper row of cylinder head bolts that are on a wedge motor. On a Hemi, it uses studs that screw in that pass through bosses that are in the valley of the block. Well, on the Stage 5 heads, there was a flat spot in the bottom of the intake port where you would put a bolt. It was a 12-point bolt, use a 7/16 wrench on it. I know because I installed a set of these heads eons ago. So that was that. Then it used the stock 426 intake rockers, but a special long exhaust rocker to get the exhaust push rod out into the valley. And you still needed to make a little bit of a notch in the valley to clear the push rod, but it was doable with the longer push rod. The stands were different also. The rocker stands were different. And finally, it had, okay, so the 426 Hemi block, at both corners of the block, outer corners, there are drain back holes for oil. The front one drains into the timing chain cover, and the back one drains directly down to the oil pan. So those don't exist on a wedge motor. So in the Stage 5 Hemi conversion heads, they had fittings where you would run external lines from the corners of the head down into the oil pan. Other than that, I really don't know too much about them.
Can you still get them?
I doubt it. They were the thing when Hemis were becoming very popular, and there was a drastic shortage of blocks. So it was before Mopar Performance started reproducing the blocks. So for a while they were very, very popular. But then once they started reproducing the Hemi blocks, they kind of faded off into oblivion. You know who was involved in that was Steve Vignanti.
Really?
Yes, he worked for Stage 5 at the time, and he probably had a hand in those heads. Hot Shoe, there's also a company making Hemis for LA engines, but only a few sets ever got made. I know them. I don't want to talk about it. They're up here in Dixon, Tennessee. But I'd rather not get into that.
They sell hot rod parts for small engines and go-karts and things now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just running back through here. Fun with Cars is saying, Dr. Art, your channel is growing. Is it? Have we gained any subs tonight? Okay.
Well, let's take a look.
Yes, guys, we're trying to help Dr. Art recover from a massive loss. His channel got new.
Yes. Well, it's at 621 subs, so that's up during the show today. 922 watch hours, which is okay for need a lot more than that, but I'll take what I got. Yeah, and if a couple of the videos took off and did real nice, so it is what it is. You know, I'm over the anger, so it's just working what I got. I got a few more old videos still left to post, maybe a handful of those. Then I got to do all new stuff and be creative in things. So,
I mean, an XJ would be pretty.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rebuilding Ghost Services. He actually services ghosts. That's important.
It's a niche market. Yeah.
Yes, very niche market. Rebuilding a 5.2 Magnum from a 93. Any advice on minor upgrades without switching out the OBD1 ECU? Dr. Art, you can take that one.
You can get away with a small cam, you know, like a slight upgrade from the factory cam. The computer won't mind that. Other than that, you can do things like exhaust and, yeah, cold air intake, maybe, a little bit of light head work and stuff like that, but don't be conservative, because that OBD1 is about as smart as your shoe. The easy way to do that is you get yourself a 96 to 2002 harness and computer, then you can tune it. Then you can do whatever you want.
And Mexican Spec just put up a link to Dr. Art's channel to make it easy for all of you.
Easy for all to go there right now.
Easy for all to go and
open up another browser, go there right now, subscribe, push play on everything, and then come back over here and let that one run.
Badass Monte Carlo can't beat the old time engineers still playing with their designs 50 years later. Dude, the old timers, man, they were just so amazing. You know, you think about what goes into a car, okay, and you think about the like the era. So 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and yeah, they were doing this stuff with pencils and slide rules and shit. Go back like 150 years ago when they were building steam locomotives, okay, and I've watched videos of films of construction, early films like from 1910, 1920, like that, right? Those things, you got to realize it. Every single one of the components on those engines, those locomotives, and these things were huge, right? Every single one of them required a casting, right? They all required a casting. They all required tooling, okay? and all of them had to fit together. Everything had to fit together. So you've got thousands of individual parts that all need their own individual, stamping, stampings and castings and machining and all of that. And it's all got to be coordinated. They've all got to talk to each other. And the buildings, like the design centers, like for, let's say, Rogers Locomotive or Lima, any of these places, with these giant buildings, and they were broken into small offices, and each of them was the design team. So the one guy had one team was the air brake housing, and the next one was the air brake piston and rod assembly, and the next one was the air brake linkage, and then the next one was fitting that air brake into. So you'd have these multiple offices with multiple people working on just one individual part of this friggin' locomotive, and they were doing it all with pencils.
And they built that stuff, and it had the last two an ungodly amount of torque that a steam engine would put out to pull an ungodly amount of weight of train.
Yep.
Down a metal track. It's crazy. You couldn't do it now. You couldn't do it now. These new people would just crumble at the thought of.
They would.
Yeah, no phone, no computer. Here's your drafting table and your T-square and your pencil and your compass and your ruler, and okay, lobster. Go build this.
I watched a film from 1930 on them building a wheel, making just one wheel for locomotive. So you're talking about a 6-foot tall wheel, right?
Yeah.
And it shows them, lowering the mold in place, and then the guy pouring the molten steel, he's just wearing regular street clothes. Yeah, it's just like he's just walking off the street. Now he's pulling a lever on this molten iron that's pouring into his sparks flying everywhere, and this guy's just standing there like this. They don't make men like that anymore.
No, you imagine some of these kids now. Okay, here's your $12 an hour, and you're going to stand here and you're going to pour 2,500 degree molten metal on this, and you don't pour too little, don't pour too much, or we're going to kick your ass all over.
Just the right speed, don't.
Yeah, we're going to tell you once, kid. If you don't get it right, you're going to get smacked.
Burned Out Garage saying it's crazy to think that someone had a hand form the castings for all 440s that were built. No, by the time they were doing 440s, the cores, the sand castings were done by machine. Those are done by machine. Marine engines and the 426 Hemi and the 340s. Not all 340s. I don't remember the distinction. Max wedge engines, those are all hand laid cores. So someone actually physically went in there to make sure that everything was placed just right. But the regular assembly line ones were all done by machine.
Very good. They know how to pour a cappuccino, but not molten steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put your barista in the train factory and see how long they last. Mommy.
Peckerhead, any ideas on new Chevy transmissions? Oh man, I actually did a video about that. I watched a video that was, I commented on a video that was done where somebody interviewed a General Motors transmission engineer. And yeah, you go back and I paraphrased everything he said pretty thoroughly, right? But you can go back, I can't remember the name of the video. I did it maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago. But yeah, it's a mess. It's a freaking mess. Territory saying what? No CAD to design trains?
No, just coffee.
Pencils. They used
pencils, coffee, and yeah.
But what gets me is how they were all able to coordinate, because you've got all of these thousands of parts and all of the sub-assemblies to each of these parts, okay, that are all done by all of these individuals and teams. And then somebody has to coordinate them all into a single locomotive. And well, before that, I mean, all of the processes have to be worked out for the actual assembly line of this thing. It's just mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling when you look at what we do today, or you look at how things are made today versus how they were then. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Let's see. Thumper is saying I made a metric crop ton of Buick 3800 and 50 Ford Rinks too. Perfect circle division. The skinny biker chick made all the plastic age in the world. Her name was Rena. Hey.
Rena, the plastic age queen.
D-Truth. Tony, where's the 3D3 burnouts you promised? Dr. Art?
Tomorrow night.
Yes. Tomorrow night. All things, if everything goes, if nothing crazy happens, tomorrow night we'll be doing some stuff with the Belvedere.
Yeah.
Shannon, yeah, imagine that. And now today you can't even get the right parts to fit the first time you order it. I know.
Scoop. He's still trying to figure out how a soft closed toilet seat works. And these guys are building trains.
You guys, I'm telling you, after this live, right, which we're going to be in a few minutes, after this live, go search locomotive construction. You know, and there's so many videos out there that they were. I guess that was the big thing to film in that period of time.
Right? Well, yeah, that was Yeah,
those are the industrial heroes. So there's a lot of films out there. There's a lot of British films.
Well, about the train. Altoids, anyone? Right here. Take one.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
KJ Kelly, did HP engines have extra nickel content? No, they did not. The only Chrysler engine that I could think of that had extra, well, okay. The later Max wedge blocks had a higher nickel content, and the 1974, 1975 over-the-counter Chrysler fuel block. So, also known as the D5 block, was a high nickel casting. And when I say high nickel casting, I mean this thing glowed in the dark. Okay, it was crazy, a completely different type of metal, right?
Like a chrome block almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful friggin' block. Because even though aluminum motors, the Milodon 7-liter and the KB 426 were on the market, Chrysler was still pushing blown nitro Hemi stuff. So when they came out with the D5 block, they made it extra D5 for pro stock, which never worked out. But they made the block extra beefy. It weighs 50 pounds more than a standard 426 Hemi block, and that was the fuel block. And it was available over the counter from 1974 until 1980. Dakota, what is the advantage of a higher nickel content? That's what gives the block flexibility. It allows the block to move without cracking.
D-Truth's got a good question there. 2 down from where you're at.
Tony, everyone uses high volume oil pumps. When is high pressure pump used? Big oil clearance, high RPM race engines using a high pressure pump. Like, so for instance, take a fuel motor that's got like 3,500 rod clearance, got 5,000 main clearance, and it's got 4,500 main, 3,500 rod. If you use a standard pressure oil pump on that, you'd have like no pressure, like zero, like it's like 5 pounds. So at that point, you would use a high pressure pump. That's an extreme example, but just to give you an idea of like the application. Aluminum rod engines that have a lot of side clearance where they're pissing the oil out. They need high volume, high pressure pumps. Tony, what was the seasoning of engine blocks? Does that really mean more flexibility? Yes. So before aftermarket race blocks, prepped blocks became common, racers like pro stock racers, comp eliminator racers would look for, when they went for looking for blocks to build for their race engines, they would go find engines out of taxi cabs, tow trucks, police cars, stuff that had high mileage. They were looking for engines that had 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles on them, because every time the engine goes through a heating and cooling cycle, it stress relieves itself, and that's what seasoning is. And they would also leave the blocks outside in the weather. So if you went by a race engine build, like let's say you went by Grumpy Jenkins' place in like 1972, if you went around the back of his shop, there would be a stack of blocks just rusting in a pile behind the shop. And the purpose of that was to let them bake in the sun and freeze in the cold. And the longer they sat out there, the more seasoned they would become, and the better race engine it would be. Let's see. Mark, is there any harm hanging an empty block on an engine stand for years? Yeah, so I'm guilty of it. I've left engines sitting on engine stands. I got one stand that's been there for about 10 years now. It's not a good practice. I'll tell you how far that basic concept goes. Bob Glidden would assemble his engines on a table. He wouldn't assemble them on an engine stand because he felt that there was too much flex in the block. So when he did all of his measuring and assembly work, it was done with the engine sitting on a table or on the floor, depending on the working situation, rather than hanging it off the end of an engine stand. So how extreme is that? How accurate? Like does it really make a difference? I don't know. But on paper, it does. And people like Bob Glidden took that to heart. Burned out garage. Do you have any experience with a 477 Hemi? Stock crank on a 4,500-inch bore? No. All of my Hemis all of my Hemi experience is with standard bore. So gasoline Hemi, 40 and 60 over. All my nitro Hemi experience is both standard bore and 4.187, because they shrunk the bore when they went to the 3/4-inch crank to keep it under 500 cubic inches. So I have zero experience with Hemi. I'll tell you what, it's not good. A 4.5-inch bore 426 Hemi is not a good thing, right? I'm telling you, period, the end. And if you know these engines the way I know these engines, and you know the heat signatures that are typically left on the pistons, you'll see that the outer end of that piston is not doing any work. There's never any heat signature towards the outer part, the outer, let's say 3/4 of an inch or thereabouts, half an inch, all the way around, because the Hemi's got no quench. So making it bigger, you're creating a larger air pump, but you're not creating any extra working surface because it never gets involved out there. All of the action is in the center of the piston. Now, also, I can tell you on nitro, on nitro, when the switch was made to the 3/4 inch crank, that's when they shrunk the bore down to 4.187. But being the low budget scumbags that we were, would often get hand-me-down pistons and liners, 4.187s, and run them on a 5/8 crank. And I can tell you that there was absolutely zero difference between the 4 1/4 bore and the 4.187 with the 5/8 crank. We were at 496 cubic inches at that. How does that make you feel, Dr. Art?
Slightly perplexed. Because a 477 Hemi sounds like a lot of fun until it gets hot. Yeah.
It all sounds like fun until somebody puts an eye out.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that the Hemi, the 426 Hemi, one of the biggest problems with it, it has no quench area. And because it has no quench area, there's like it's a dead chamber. It's a dead friggin' chamber. And you get a higher RPM, over 5,000, 6,000 RPM. The central spark plug lights the mixture, and at racing at competitive speeds. Okay, so like for a street engine, like you're going to just drive it down the street. You're not going to go over, you're not looking to make power over 4, 5, 6,000 RPM. Then yeah, the bigger bore, you may find something, because the speed of the flame front and the speed of the piston would allow more propagation of the flame front at lower RPM. But now you speed it up, the centralized spark plug lights the mixture in the center, and that piston is running away from the flame front at the same time the flame front is expanding outwards, and it doesn't have a chance. It doesn't go any further than just look at the heat signature of, let's say, a super stock Hemi, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Dr. Art, what's the best times you got with the Ranger?
70 and 101.
What was it? 70 and 101?
101. Yeah.
That's moving pretty good, Dr. Art.
Yeah, and that was on low boost. Now it's up. So
that's moving pretty good, man.
Yeah. For that, you've seen that, Death Trap live and in person. Yeah, that's.
Where did you run that?
Where did we run that? It wasn't at Buffalo Valley, because that's always slow.
Yes.
So it had to be.
Music
City? I think it was at Music City. The one time I went there.
Let's see. Barracuda, the spindly mount on the back of my Sign 6 snapped in half on an engine stand. I've had that happen, bro. Weld it up. Just take your flux core welder and just lay bead after bead after bead after bead, and then drill a hole through it, and you're fine. Grease Belly Garage, I just moved my XJs to storage today, and it reminded me of UTG. Nice. I'm rotating back into XJ land now again. So let's see. What's my fastest run? 15:08 at 88 miles an hour. And man, I don't ever want to go that fast again. It was crazy. Really. Let's see. I'm just going to roll back up here. Dr. Art, we're down to the last couple of minutes.
We got, and then since the chat's kind of quiet, and there's lots of lurkers, I think all the lurkers should put down in the chat where the hell they're watching us from. What part of the universe is their TV set tied down to right now?
Who now? What?
Who that? All the people that are lurking and stuff like that, they could put where the hell they're watching us from.
People who are lurking?
Yes, because we got, 100 some odd people, 150, 160 people watching and 40 people chatting. So we got a lot of people that maybe are too shy. They just need to say something.
Okay.
They got 5 minutes.
Step up there, shy people.
Yes.
Shoe. I've never run on an 8th mile track. Dude, once you go 8th mile, you never, ever, ever want to see another quarter mile for the rest of your life.
You're like, oh, quarter mile, silly. Yeah.
I was a confirmed quarter mile guy. I was born and raised on freaking quarter miles. I made thousands of freaking runs on quarter miles. And I go, oh, 8th mile, that's just so silly. No. Once you become adapted to 8th mile, once you start to you understand, this is what it is. And it suddenly you don't understand why anybody would want to go past 8th mile. That the zone from 660 to 1320 is nothing but pain. That's all it is. It's only pain.
And waiting.
Nothing good can ever come from 660 to 1320. Period. The end.
Just broken parts. Yeah.
Just broken parts. All right. I'm going to take one more here.
Okay.
Strow. Uncle Tony and Dr. Art, will the long-term durability and availability of electric parts like ECM and sensors make it hard to have cars like XJs as forever cars? You answer that. You answer your way first.
Depends wherever your time frame is, because there's a lot of people that rebuild those parts for those vehicles because they will run forever. And once those vehicles are the bomb drops, they're no longer in existence, you could retrofit them and put in a carb and a distributor and keep them running forever and ever and ever.
Exactly. The 4-liter Jeep engine is based on the AMC Hurricane 6 that went into production in 1965. So you can retrofit anything from one of those engines into the 4-liter that's in an XJ. Including the crankshafts. People build crankshafts, stroker motors, XJ motors all the time using those early cranks. So yeah, the XJ is one of those exceptions to the rule where you won't have any problem retrofitting normal stuff to it. Okay. All right, Dr. Art, I say we stop this.
We stop this nonsense right now.
Pause. Stop. Right. Full stop. Right.
Yeah.
What do you need to talk about, Dr. Art?
I got one more video on the dragster coming up for the parachute and fuel tank. I'll probably get that up tomorrow. Hopefully, if the weather holds and nothing breaks and everything's good, we'll be at the Speed Labs tomorrow night for some fast, exciting, noisy action. And that's about it because the Barracuda's gone, so I don't need to push that on anybody. So, hey, I'm good.
Excellent. What do I have to talk about? Nothing. Nothing. I'm just going to thank our incredible mods. Mexican Spec, Fubar Zero, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody contributed super chat. Thank you. Never expected, but always appreciated. Everybody contribute just your presence and your conversation and your clicks and your likes and those things. You're all greatly appreciated. Thank you. And let's just pretend. Walter Woodchip, thank you. I'm gonna just highlight that. Let's just pretend this never happened.
This never happened.
Yes. Okay, never happened.
Yes,
So,
the eyes of the brokenhearted are staring back at you, so we must end now.
yes, Jamie was in the house for a while. Dead Dodge Garage. Go over there for quality Mopar stuff as opposed to what I do. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
everybody. Don't get killed out there.
No, but try to. It makes it fun.
There you go.